If you've been interested in the Ukrainian language, you may have already noticed that some of the verbs have the ending ся. For example, митися, посміхатися, відкриватися, сміятися. You may have already read some information about them online. I'm pretty sure that what you found out is that they are called reflexive verbs, and the ending ся means oneself, itself, themselves, myself, and so on. And to some extent, it is correct. The ending ся originally meant oneself or on one's own. In English, we use reflexive pronouns, itself, himself, herself, but not that often. We just say, he's dressing up. We don't need to say he's dressing himself up. But in Ukrainian, reflexive verbs are very common. For example, the infinitive to dress up can be translated into Ukrainian as одягати, non-reflexive, or одягатися, reflexive. Obviously, the meanings would be different. So we can say він одягає or він одягається. The first option is used when he is helping someone else to dress up. For example, his son. Він одягає свого сина. But when you want to say that he's dressing up himself, you should use він одягається. If instead of одягається, you'll use non-reflexive verb одягає, people may not understand towards who this action is directed. Here are a few more examples. Він миється. He's washing himself, his face. Він навчається. He's educating himself. Двері зачиняються. The door is closing itself. Фільм закінчується. The movie is finishing itself. Вони обіймаються. They are hugging themselves, meaning each other. But most of the verbs with this ending cannot be translated into English using oneself. They just wouldn't make any sense. In this case, we can try to translate the ending ся as showing one's own ability of some action or having ability of some action. Я посміхаюся. I'm smiling. Of course, you cannot say she's smiling herself. What was meant is that she is showing her own ability to smile. But nobody actually goes so deep down into the core meaning of the verbs. Just try to see them as normal verbs. The same happens in the following examples. Вона пишається тобою. She is proud of you. Ми вибачаємося. We are saying sorry. Він грається. He's playing. But I think this kind of explanation of the ending ся is pretty confusing. There must be some clear difference between мити, митися, кусати, кусатися, вітати, вітатися, світити, світитися, грати, гратися. When should we use the verbs with this ending and when without it? The answer is we use the ending ся with intransitive verbs. To understand this, we need to discuss the differences between transitive and intransitive verbs. In the sentence, I drink coffee, the verb drink is transitive because coffee stands right after it. No prepositions, no additional words. We just put the verb and the object this verb is directed to. We play a game. She speaks English. You like cats. These are examples of transitive verbs. And here are intransitive verbs. I sit at the table. I'm looking at you. I'm thinking about you. They are sleeping. All these verbs are intransitive because they don't have a direct object standing after them. It either just doesn't exist or they just need some prepositions to build a sentence. Now have a look at examples in Ukrainian. Я збираю яблука. Я збираюся до школи. Він навчає дітей. Він навчається. Ми тримаємо картину. Ми тримаємося за мотузку. So in most cases, the verbs with the ending "ся" are used when there is no direct object to the action. So they are either used without an object, or you need to use some prepositions before the object. But of course, not all intransitive verbs in Ukrainian have this ending. So be careful with this. Reflexive verbs are used in Ukrainian very often. And in most situations, nobody really tries to translate the ending "ся" somehow. These verbs are just normal verbs for most native speakers. I hope this information was useful. See you in the other lessons.